down to Wool on the Exe to meet with Ella and Debbie. And I've also got some yarn shopping to do, so I thought I'd vlog it and take you along for the trip. So we're going to go in now and head into Wool on the Exe, do a bit of yarn squishing, a bit of knitting, a bit of chatting, and yeah, I thought I'd bring you along for a proper look around this lovely community interest local yarn shop. This was my first proper visit to Wool on the Exe, so I really enjoyed getting time to have a proper look around. The displays are beautiful, it is absolutely packed with yarns. I was excited to see Stylecraft Recreate, which is a recycled yarn. I've heard really lovely things about it and I really do want to work with it. I'm seeing perhaps a nice long line cardi in this, or a comfy v-neck sweater. It's only £3.99 a ball, which is really reasonable and has a really lovely palette as well. There's so much choice here. There's different types of yarn, from alpaca to cotton to acrylic. And you can see here the Manas of Uruguay, some Sauber balls. Some, it looks like hand spun there. I think it was actually hand spun as well. Some beautiful tweedy yarns. Stylecraft Rico. And here was the display of hand-dyed yarn, Bird Street yarn, which I was lucky enough to win a giveaway. I was very tempted to bring some of these home to add to my yarn stash, but more on the stash situation later. Skiing Queen, I absolutely love. I've got one very coveted special one in my stash at the moment. As you can see, I'm becoming drawn to the greens and the plums, the kind of autumnal tones. Loch Lomond lace. This is the lace weight version of the DK that I got for my chicken in the kit that Ella gave me. And I'm not sure how I didn't know about this, but Wool on the Exe actually dyes their own yarn. Debbie dyes yarn. It's a beautiful base. This has tencel in it. I use a 50-50 tencel base. It's the same base as I have. And I love the variegation in these yarns. Eden Cottage yarn fans will be delighted by this display of various yarns, including the Milburn 4-ply, the Milburn DK, there we are, beautiful colours. These hanks of alpaca wool were really gorgeous. Oops. Forgive me. Surrey alpaca worsted spun hand knit yarn. So Surrey alpaca is the softest alpaca in the world. It's also the rarest, and it's absolutely beautiful. Of course, what yarn shop would be complete without the wonder that is West Yorkshire Spinners. I did shop from the Bo Peep range. Kremke was another new one to me. This is it's called Soul Wool. It's a vegan yarn, and all the colourways and names are inspired by, I think, yoga poses. Sock yarn. Oh, I had to work really hard to stay away from this. I really did like the opal, some of the sparkly ones. This one in particular nearly came home with me. I was trying to think of other people I could gift it to justify adding it to my stash. But I was good. Look how sparkly that is. The project bags were absolutely beautiful. Obviously you've got some commercial ones such as Emma Ball, and I think there's some handmade ones as well. I was really intrigued to see tops and felt, a whole range, more of the hand-dyed yarn from Wool on the Exe. Utterly beautiful. A lace weight version of the merino tencel. Cat and Sparrow fibres. This nearly got me purchasing a drop. Oh, step away from it, Gemma. Step away. Put it back. Put it back. Good girl. And ready knit socks. I was always asked for these when I was running a yarn shop, and we couldn't get hold of them easily enough. They sold out like hotcakes. It's really cool to see these ones from Woolly Knit. As you can see, it is floor to ceiling, wall to wall, delicious yarn. A wonderful range of affordable commercial yarns, peppered in with hand-dyed And BC Garn, oh, I really wanted to bring some of this home. Organic wool and silk. It is the most unique thing I have felt. The Jewel Spun had really beautiful colours, and what I was really impressed with is they actually had swatches of every single one lit up. I don't know whether that was something that was given to them by Sirdar, or whether they've got a machine that they managed to do it on, but you can see them hanging here. Actually, looking at it has been given to them by Sirdar, hasn't it, if you look at the hanger at the top. And probably knit on a machine as well, but it is really cool to see how the colourways work up. Toft pom-poms, t-shirt yarn, Toft kits. Honestly, there's anything you could think of in here. Elements from West Yorkshire Spinners, Sandra Rhodes yarns. I do love the Elements, I'd love to work in that again. West Yorkshire Spinners fleece, BFL, both the dyed and undyed. I'm zooming in a lot here because I'm looking at Exmoor Horn Wool, which is a local yarn. It's a Devon yarn. Now this is very rustic, but if you want a souvenir ball of yarn, this is your one. There we go. Members of the Exmoor Horn Sheep Breeders Society. Definitely one to think about. And coming round, we've got more hand-dyed yarn. This is all seems to be organised by weight. So this is the Aran weight. West Yorkshire Spinners, DK. And more yarns that were new to me. Oh, and Jameson and Smith floor play. So I thought I'd just show you my acquisitions from Wool on the Exe so that you can see what I'm going to be casting on shortly. Viewers of the podcast will know about this already, but I have purchased, I do feel a bit icky about this, a printed out photocopy of a vintage Thomas the Tank Engine pattern. I've mentioned already that my little boy is Thomas the Tank Engine mad. He stopped calling him Thomas and is calling him Thomas now, and he tells everyone Thomas and Engine, which is really cute. I think I got teased gently and nicely a few years ago for saying how excited I am too often in the podcast, and that if it had been a drinking game that everyone would have ended up completely sozzed. And I keep saying that Robin's really cute. I've got a feeling it's going to be another one of those things. So I'm going to try not to say it so much. But anyway, it has 4 trains on it, 4 train patterns. I really like this one, but I'm not an idiot. I have a little boy who's discovered welly boots and puddle jumping. So I am not doing it in white, but I'm going to do this train. So I'm going to do Thomas. This one's James. I'm not keen on the face on this one. It just looks a little bit peculiar. And that one's nice, but I think that's way beyond my skills. I'm fairly new to Intarsia. Hoping to master it with this one. So I'm going to do this one, but in yellow. I had grand designs of making it using Fibre Space Vivacious DK in the Sunshine colourway for the background. It's a little bit of a splurge, but I would only have needed 2 hanks, and it's so soft. And once Robin had grown out of it, I could reuse the yarn. Basically, that's the idea. Unravel it and reuse the yarn. So I thought, well, that's okay. So that's how I justified that. Unfortunately, they only had 1 hank in stock. Debbie did very kindly say she could order it in and it would be here by the end of next week. But whether I do this or not remains to be seen. I know that if I'm going to get this done for him for Christmas, I have really got to get a wriggle on and I've got to get started. So anyway, I instead went for Corblimey, that's bright. Went for Bo Peep in the Sunshine. This is also Sunshine colourway. It's from West Yorkshire Spinners, which if you've been here a while you'll know is one of my favourite commercial yarn brands. And I know it's back to front and you can't read that, but I need it on selfie mode tonight. I am too tired to do anything other than this. It's merino and nylon, so it's really, really soft but really durable, and it's machine washable. It's perfect. I think it's $4.25 a ball now, so it has gone up. I think it was only $3.50 a couple of years ago. It has gone up, but everything's gone up, and like I say, it's going to last. So I've got that for the main colour. I'm not sure between this one and this one for Thomas himself. He's actually kind of in between the two, I think, Thomas. Might end up going for this one just because of how bright it is. Yeah, we'll see. Fire engine, that's bright as well. Tooth fairy. Tin Man, so Tin Man's going to be his face. I also got Robot, which is a darker grey for his features. And then I needed a black and a brown. And I really wanted to get Treehouse from West Yorkshire Spinners Bo Peep range, but they didn't have that in stock. They only had Teddy Bear, which is far too pale. So in the end, I looked around the shop and I came up with Serdar Country Classic. And this is like a chocolatey brown. And then obviously this is, oh look, that looks much more brown now next to the black. And Serdar Country Classic DK is from West Yorkshire. So there we go, Yorkshire yarn. It's 50% wool, 50% acrylic, so a very similar blend. And it doesn't say anything much else about it. And it was $3.25 a ball. I've used Serdar Country Style, but not the Country Classic before. So those are my colours for Thomas. And while I was there, because it's rude not to, the Future Dreams yarn. Maybe I will flip it for this. I don't know. I'll flip it afterwards. Which is a very exciting and special yarn. It's in the Colour Lab base, Colour Lab DK. It's self-striping, but it's done in collaboration with the Future Dreams charity, which supports women who are have suffered from breast cancer. In London, I believe there's respite care, or there's somewhere people can go, and so they've partnered with West Yorkshire Spinners, and Danielle Dean is this is basically her pet project, her baby. It's $6.95 a ball for 100 grams. It does go quite a long way, but inside the ball band is actually a pattern for a knitted rose and a crocheted rose, and they're doing this big project where you buy the yarn, some money from each sale of the yarn obviously goes to Future Dreams, but they're creating this virtual and physical installation where you can knit or crochet your rose. You can dedicate it to someone, perhaps someone you've lost with breast cancer, someone you know is fighting it, whoever. And you can either upload a photograph, so it's virtual and it's included in their virtual wall of flowers, or with the dedication, you can click on it and read the dedications, or you can send it off to be part of their physical installation. And I think there are other things, like local yarn shops are doing their own physical installations but sending the photographs off to West Yorkshire Spinners. It's just a really, really exciting and fascinating and important campaign to raise awareness. So check your boobs.